Hold up, Donald Trump just made history again. The political world is actually buzzing after his quote-unquote unexpected win, securing a second term as the 47th president of the United States. But what does this really mean for America's future? From a booming stock market to major changes in immigration policy, things are about to get real and interesting. Stick around till the end for my take on why legal immigration could be the next big topic and how it might shape this country's future. Can you believe it? Trump did it again. After a tough fight and several months of this grueling campaign, Donald Trump has actually beaten Vice President Kamala Harris to win the 2024 election. It was a real nail-biter, but with 270 electoral college votes, Trump is headed back to the White House, and it's an amazing thing for people who are focusing on legal immigration. Not illegal ones, but legal immigration. The nation, though, is in shock, with all the Harris campaign team left stunned, and for many, this wasn't really the result that they were expecting. But wait, this is not just about politics. I want to kind of go down into the policy changes that Trump's win might shake up to, including the market. Let's talk about the economy first. Right after Trump's win and for many days leading up to it, stocks actually rose by more than 35%, and Trump's media stock also jumped, boosting its net worth by over $1 million. Now, investors are clearly feeling optimistic about what his presidency means for business, and we've seen this back in 2016 as well. But with all this economic optimism, what is the flip side really? A Trump administration means deregulation, tax cuts, and possibly even rising inflation. Pro-business policies are a win for Wall Street, but will Main Street really feel the heat or not? That's what most of these TV channels are discussing these days. We will have to wait and see about that. But deregulation is a major boon to the economy because it frees up a lot more opportunity with a lot less restrictions placed on businesses to pursue opportunities. Now, across the globe, world leaders wasted absolutely no time in congratulating Trump. Now, some are already planning meetings with the new president-elect, and it is very clear that international relations are about to enter a new chapter. Trump's allies around the world see this as a chance to strengthen ties with the United States, but will his America First approach really impact global cooperation or not? That is yet to be seen. But what do we have to say about the America First approach that an American president should have? As for any nation, that nation should come first for the leader of that nation. Now, Trump's plans for tax cuts, cracking down on illegal immigration, and raising tariffs could actually lead to higher inflation, is what a lot of people say, both in the US and globally. And his economic policies are likely to favor big corporations a lot, but are they sustainable in the long term? We will have to find that out. Typically, bigger tax cuts to bigger corporations, when done right, do trickle down to the individual worker in a beneficial way. But you have to set the guardrails of the corporation to make sure that it trickles down how it was originally planned out. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest changes under Trump's second term: immigration. Of course, the elephant in the room. Let's just pick that up. Homeland Security is bracing for a major shift. Trump's tough stance on illegal immigration is about to make a big comeback, as it should. Now, Trump has been very clear about wanting to reverse Biden's immigration reforms. There were so many so-called reforms that Biden has done, mostly for illegal migration and providing them status. And we are talking about more stricter border wall extensions, tougher crackdown on illegal immigrants, and possibly a little bit of stricter policies for visa holders as well as a result, especially the ones that abuse the visa system. But here's where it actually gets interesting. While Trump's approach might hurt illegal immigration, he could also make legal immigration a little bit easier, or at least a little bit fairer. A lot of people, especially Indians who are waiting for their green cards for 20, 30, 40, 50, God knows how many years, are not asking to make the immigration system easier. We are just asking to make it fairer, as it should be. And I see that potential for a streamlined process for those contributing to the US economy really flourishing under Trump. Well, not everyone is happy though with Trump's win. In fact, searches for how to move to Canada how to move to New Zealand or Australia actually shot up after the results came in. People are seriously considering moving outside the US in record numbers. Google searches for moving to Canada jumped over 1,200%, and for New Zealand, about 2,000%. Looks like Trump win has some people rethinking their future in the US as well. And most of the time, trust me, these are not any immigrant thinking about it. It is mostly US citizens who kind of have a doomsday philosophy about any new administration, and it happens when both types of administrations come into power. This is a typical time of the election year when these kinds of things become more prevalent. As for Kamala Harris, though, this defeat looks like it has been tough. In her public debates after the loss, Harris spoke with grace, urging young Americans not to give up. She said, "Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place." Well, haven't heard a more generic statement than that, but although this wasn't the outcome they really fought for, Harris actually promised that America's promise would remain strong, whatever that means. Now, politics is a long game after all, but the key thing over here is if Trump wins the presidency and, of course, Republicans have the Senate, and if they retain control of the House, that is the trifecta that you are looking for. That is where Trump can actually enact grassroots level legislative policies in a much more proactive way, and things are very likely to get done if that trifecta is actually achieved. Now, what are Trump's next moves possibly? Rewarding his most loyal supporters is definitely going to be up his priority list, and we have already seen him leaning on big names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or Elon Musk and many others for advice and support. Expect Trump to bring his allies into key roles during his second term, and I'm actually excited to see the kind of cabinet he forms in the second term versus the first term, because there was a lot of already existing government bureaucracy that crept its way into the first term's cabinet, and I think the second term's cabinet will be way more radical and way more interesting and reformative to watch. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's team is preparing for a smooth transition, and White House's officials are already reaching out to Trump's team to ensure a peaceful handover of power. So what does all of this mean really for the future of America? A shifting political landscape, rising markets, and a tougher immigration policy. This is what we can say for sure. Now, Trump's second term will also bring some big changes, and as we have seen, his support for legal immigration could open new doors for those actually following the rules. Thanks for watching, folks, and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Trump's recent win and the challenges ahead? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. And until next time, this is Simon Shetty signing off. Peace.